Let's create a stamp and collage robot. To begin, we need to make a mechanical background for our robot. So let's look at the materials we have. We're going to have a black construction paper as our background, and then we're going to use some gold and silver paint. We also want to use some tools to make our marks. So we're not using any paintbrushes, but we are going to use different things that we can find, like empty tape dispensers, any kind of tubes we might have that have interesting patterns like that one, pieces of cardboard, or even foam that you've cut to make a stamping tool. And we're going to stamp our design on our black paper to make it look a little bit mechanical. Let's get started. I'm going to start with the open circle, and I want to use that in some silver paint. You might notice that I left a little bit of space. That's because I want to make a pattern. So now I'm going to dip the same circle into the gold paint, but before I do that, I want to wipe it off. So if I have a messy mat like this, I can just clean it on my messy mat, or I can use a scrap paper or a paper towel. I just don't want to mix my colors too much. Okay, now I'm going to stamp into the gold paint and make some gold circles. Now let's see if I can make a different design. So I have my 1-2 pattern of gold and silver circles, but now I'm going to try this piece of foam that I have that's cut, and I'm going to use that with just silver. I think I'll make 2 rows, but this time I'm going to turn the direction around so they're not going the same way. I'm going to go back to my circle. And now I want to try my cardboard. So this time I'm going to use the gold paint with the cardboard, and I'm going to use the shorter end. Now I'm going to try this fun shape and just see what I can do with it. I'm going to use the straight edge of the foam this time. And I'm just finishing up my paper by repeating the patterns I already made. Now my paper has to dry completely before I can move on to the next step. The painted background is now completely dry, so we can go ahead and build our collage robot on top of it. It's fun to use novelty papers when we're building our collage robot. Some novelty papers could include ones that are corrugated, like this one, or ones that are pre-cut into circle shapes, like these, or some shiny or metallic papers like these ones. We're not going to glue anything down right away. Let's start first by building all the parts. If a piece of paper is too big, you can always fold it and then cut it into another size. Once you think you have all the parts you want, now you can start gluing things down. Using a cotton swab is a great way to apply the glue to the back of the pieces that you want to glue down. Remember to glue down the pieces that are underneath first, and then the pieces that go over them second. When you're finished with your robot, you want to make sure that all of the parts are really glued down. You can check just by lifting up the paper and giving it a shake. If everything stays attached, then you are good to go. So there is my finished robot. Remember, your robot's going to look totally different because everybody's art is their own.